Namaste everyone. Happy International Day of Yoga. It's my great pleasure and honor to invite all of you to celebrate our day. That is Yoga Day, especially with the World Unity Week. I want to thank Ben Bowler for inviting us to this beautiful gathering, a global gathering. I have few of my friends from the UN, as Dr. Padmini Murthy and Reverend Dennis Kotoji and Aishwarya Narasimha ji, and our board members Lamal Patroliji, Rajbhushan ji, Gabriel ji, and our special friend from Himalayas, that is Swami Yadi Dharmananda ji, and Acharya Ishra from the Ananda Marga, and of course, Peace Lights Pete Rogina. And a lot of people are watching online in Value Community page and Unity Earth group. Welcome everyone. So I'll invite our speakers. Start with our chair of the International Day of Yoga Committee, that is Reverend Dennis Koto, Esquire. She is an NGO representative of International Federation of Women Lawyers at the United Nations. The very hard-working person, a yogini, promoting yoga through women's empowerment, justice, and all other sustainable development goals of the United Nations. Dear Reverend Dennis Koto, floor is for you.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this group and our gathering today as we actually celebrate World Yoga Day. Happy Yoga Day, everyone.
Happy Yoga.
And I do want to just acknowledge that we have on this group and on this viewing so many people who have dedicated their lives to selfless service. All the swamis, the swaminis, all the gurus who have just given up their life to God so that they could create a better world. So I'd like to take this moment to honor all of them, including those who are here with us today, and to really appreciate how you've been dedicated in your life to these underlying principles, to the deeper purpose of yoga that underlies all faith traditions and all spiritual beliefs. It's so important to have each and every one of you holding this space that allows all of us to tap into the true nature of ourself, to tap into that greater force of creation or God that gives life to everyone and everything, that allows us to really expand our consciousness so that we can understand what it means to really be a human being and to be part of this one human family where we really are all interconnected and interdependent. We also understand how the evolution of human consciousness is about how we can really use our minds and our hearts to shape how we influence things around us. We can create our reality. And that goes back to how we can take action, how we can come together, how we can have this collective action for world benefit. You know, we've heard Guruji talk a little bit just now about the Sustainable Development Goals, but the International Day of Yoga Committee at the United Nations supports the UN It supports the UN in its goals and its missions on human dignity, on unity, on respect, on tolerance, on embracing everyone. The inclusivity of yoga, of union itself is what we're talking about. And it's also about how we can have more peaceful coexistence with one another, how we are about ahimsa, that great principle of nonviolence and promoting a culture of peace. These are the noble goals of yoga and all the faith traditions that we know and that we hold so dear to our hearts. I want to just say, since we're here with the greater UN community, many of you know Swami Vivekananda. And for those of you who don't know, he's really someone who brought yoga to the West back in 1893. 1893, when the World's Parliament of Religions was meeting in Chicago. And he gave the speech that is just quoted so much all over the world by many faith traditions during interfaith meetings and dialogues, because he's the one who really called for religious tolerance and an end to fanaticism, and say to devote one's life is devoting one's life to the good of all, to the happiness of all, and that is religion. So we really honor Swami Vivekananda in that sense. And another deeper truth, an eternal truth, is something that he also said that I think is very fitting today. The highest truth is that God is present in all beings. They are his multiple forms. Where can we go to find God if we can't see God in our own hearts and in every living human being, right? So I really bring this up as we start, because again, this is what we're doing when we speak about living one's life according to these sacred ancient truths that the Vedas talk about and they spell out, and that I believe are embodied in the UN Charter, in the UN goals, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This is what we're talking about when we talk about creating a better world, the underlying philosophy of yoga and these core principles. I think that another yogi who some of you may know is Swami Satchidananda, and he's known as the Woodstock Guru because he actually opened up the Woodstock Festival that was held in New York over 50 years ago. And he was asked to do this because the authorities in New York thought, oh my goodness, we're having so many people descend on Woodstock, it's going to go crazy. Who can really calm people down? Who can create and hold the center of peace? And Swami Satchidananda came to the call. And what he did in the beginning, when he started his address, was he said that the future of the whole world is in our hands, as it is today. And he said that we can make or break the world, and that we're here right now so that we can heal the world and that we can make it by not fighting for peace, not fighting, and then certainly not fighting for peace, but finding peace within oneself first, knowing that peace within can then ripple out. And as I mentioned to some groups earlier today on the 7th Annual International Day of Yoga, it gives us the opportunity to see what a gift this is to recommit to our spiritual principles and to our spiritual values, no matter what faith tradition you belong to, whether you're a person of goodwill and the will to do good and don't necessarily identify as being with a religious faith. You may be spiritual, you may say you're a humanist, but whatever, your heart is pure and wanting world benefit for everyone. So I think that this is one of the greatest contributions that I could make to the meeting today, in terms of really trying to show, how these yogic values, these ancient words of wisdom from so many of the holy masters, our yoga masters, our yoga saints, really ring true to today. More so than ever before, we need this wisdom. We need these practices so that we can really come into contact with our true self, with that which is greater than all of us, that binds us to one another. so that we can emerge as a human family, but then emerge and accelerate human consciousness. And we can go beyond what we know as our humanity. And many of you know another just beautiful Indian philosopher, Sri Aurobindo, and how he really believed in the goodness of each and every person, and how he really talked about, and this is a quote from the Synthesis of Yoga, what we propose in our yoga is nothing less than to break up the whole formation of our past and present, which makes up the ordinary material and mental man, and to create a new center of attention and a new universe of activities in ourselves, which shall constitute a divine humanity or a superhuman nature. So as we emerge today from all the challenge and the deep suffering and the panic that we've been experiencing due to COVID-19, let us come together in our shared human family, in our interdependence, and let us emerge with an even greater sense of humanity, to our superhuman nature, to our meta-humanity, because that is who we are. And that is the new story that we can bring as we celebrate World Unity Week. Thank you for giving us the space. Thank you, Guruji, for inviting me to be with everyone. My parting words is just wishing everyone peace. So I am going to use the Sanskrit word, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. Thank you, Reverend Dennis. That was a beautiful presentation. I enjoy you brought our saintly person from Pondicherry. I forgot to mention that in the morning section, So when you look at the integral yoga, that was one of his main teaching. He brought all the teachings of traditional style to the modern style. I think no one else started that movement in the beginning. Now everybody is bringing the integral style. So this is our plan. We will have one speaker and one bhajan, little traditional satsang style. So I have a few musicians are sitting here, and chorus, that is Lamel Patroli for cymbal, Gabriel for, what is the name, bowl, and Raj Bhushan for chorus. Here it is. We already connected with the Himalayas. We'll start with the Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Om Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Om Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah warming up. So our next guest speaker is Dr. Padmini Murthy. She is the Vice Chair of the Global NGO Executive Committee and the NGO representative for the American Medical Women's Association to the United Nations. And additionally, she is our board committee for the advisory board. Dr. Padmini Murthy, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dileepji. Thank you, everybody. It's really an honor to be here. And, you know, what Denny spoke so eloquently when she talked about Swami Vivekananda and also the other great educators, sages, teachers who have really done so much in propagating yoga. I think what we are trying to do here locally has a global impact. We saw that at the earlier event this morning, where we had people from all over join. And a lot of the credit goes to you, Dileepji. As I have said, you are really a captain in that you have so wonderfully organized a series of meetings for this whole month. Now, what is yoga? I'm just going to discuss briefly as to what it does for your health and well-being. Being a physician and a public health expert, I would like to focus on that. Yoga has known, there's been research, and it has been proved to have a lot of beneficial effects, both on mental health and physical health. So very quickly, what does it do to one's mental health? It releases our endorphins or mood enhancers, which make us feel better and in a better state of mind with more positive effects. So especially now during COVID, when somebody is depressed, is suffering from depression, loneliness, yoga has definitely helped to improve their mental state and well-being. The effect of yoga is almost as good as any antidepressant medications which are prescribed. The advantages is the side effects are nil. It has the negative side effects. Like if you take any medication, as we know, sometimes the drug is worse than the cure. So here you have a lot of positive side effects with yoga. Also, physically, yoga has shown to reduce hypertension, reduce diabetes, and also pain management is possible with yoga. Again, in full disclosure, please, you cannot attempt to do a Surya Namaskar on the very first day you start yoga. Everything has to be gradual. For example, when we were born, we were not born running. We walked, we crawled, then we walked with support, then without support, and then we learned how to run. It's the same thing with yoga. We need to do it gradually. It needs to be done in steps, and it needs to be learned from a teacher, either physically from a teacher or even online. In these times of COVID, online education, especially for doing yoga, has been really amazing and has been very, very useful. So as I would also like to very much stress that how can yoga reduce blood pressure? Because some of the asanas we have, example, the Sahaj Pranayam, which is one of the pranayams, which is the simple movement of the head, gradual head movement, moving up and down and controlled breathing. It helps us to maintain the blood pressure and it reduces stress. So yoga is a way of reducing stress. When our stress levels come down, obviously the stress hormone secretion also comes down and it helps your blood pressure. So this is like a positive biofeedback mechanism. That's why the pranayama and the breathing exercises together with the various asanas for yoga are really beneficial health-wise. Interestingly, even pregnant women, there was a study done in Southeast countries, which found that pregnant women under guidance when they did yoga, the health and well-being of the mother and the child improved. For example, it reduced the incidence of high blood pressure in pregnant women, reduced the incidence of what we call eclampsia or fits during pregnancy, and reduced abruptio. What happens is if mothers are hypertensive, they do not have the necessary care, suddenly the placenta breaks away. It's called abruptio placenta, and the baby may die, the mother may die, or the baby may suffer, the fetus may suffer effects, negative effects. So what I'm trying to say is not that you want a 9 month a pregnant woman to start jumping and doing yoga. Again, as I said, for each stage of pregnancy, there are specific yogasanas. It's the same thing for people who cannot get up to do yoga. There is what is called chair yoga. It's really amazing because at so many meetings I've attended, we have a break and people go like, oh yeah, start doing chair yoga now. And it's like, I go like, okay, what is chair yoga? Like I learned about this like 2 years ago when I was at a conference. And I sort of said like, this is so nice. And even for people who have back pain, who have recovered from some surgery, they sit on a flat surface, they can do their yoga. And also for people who are bedridden, there are again asanas you can do lying down. So again, yoga has different forms which fits and caters to everybody. So this is the beauty of yoga. It is generalized. At the same time, it can be personalized for you, for your health and well-being. And especially as Denise, you were saying, and earlier in the morning too, when we had our another event, during this time, we all are undergoing so much of stress. So this is a time of reflection. And a true leader is somebody like when you do yoga in every sense of the word, when you live your life according to the yogic principles, you are a leader because you're showing the way, you're showing light to somebody. So we had somebody like peace lights, all those lights which are shown on the screen really are the lights we are transmitting. And I think all of you here, all the esteemed people, the swamis, the acharyas here, namaste, and thank you so much for all the work you do, because you are not only enlightening yourself, but you're spreading your enlightenment to others. And a light, when you light a candle, it gives shade to, it gives light to everybody. That's what yoga is doing. I'm not saying this because I'm an Indian, but I think as the universality of yoga has never been so obvious as it has been since the past few years. And especially now in these times of trouble when everybody hates everybody because you look different from me, your name sounds different from me, or I don't like what you think. This is the time because it helps us to be grounded. Because that is what the whole thing about yoga is. It grounds you and it makes you understand that, there is something beyond the physical needs, the metaphysical needs. So it's really, yoga is mind and body well-being. And to sum up, yoga really is an excellent tool for the WHO definition of health. What is health? According to the World Health Organization, it is a complete state of social, physical, and mental well-being. So the social well-being and the mental well-being so it's so holistic. So yoga is really holistic. And I think it's one of the best preventative and curative tools. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And Om Shanti Om. Let us hope next year we can all meet together as we do in the grounds in the United Nations and do yoga, and look forward to working with all of you. And Dileepji, again, I'm throwing the ball back into your court. Maybe after June is over, before the end of summer, we could have a yoga, a meeting in which there's a Zoom meeting in where we could have some yoga demonstration by our learned people from all over the world, because this will be really nice. And, and then once we have the Zoom, we could put it up on your website and Denise on the International Yoga Day website, because just to show that yoga is not theory, it's also practice. So thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you. You brought a lot of points from the health concern. I like that point. And definitely we'll have yoga demonstration on 30th. 30th we have all the different performance, including music, dance, art, and H.R. Nagendra ji is the advisor to the Government of India. He'll be speaking, and we have 3 chancellors from different universities. Our plan is bringing all aspects of yoga together. I hope when we work as a teamwork, the morning event was so beautiful, when people came together, put together, great. And I hope the DGs will lead the program next year and they will make sure all the NGOs are part of it. It's necessary, We are the people really do hard work for the yoga community. So now we'll invite our brother Oneness Raj Bhushan. We are going to Mumbai, from Himalaya to Mumbai for Ganesha Papa. Ganesha Sharanam.
Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha.
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 Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Ganesha.
Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha.
Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Sharanam Ganesha, Sharanam Ganesha. Sharanam Ganesha, Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam, Sharanam Ganesha. Great. Our next speaker is from Himalayas, or Swami Yadi Dharmananda Saraswati ji. He is also part of the World Yoga community long time. And his master, Swami Chidananda, the great being for interfaith. Even he went to Rome and had a meeting with the Pope. And my uncles were so close with him, and Swami Bhuva used to live with them. We have big connections. He always come to New York and stay with us. When I go to Himalayas, I stay with him and his friends. And he comes to Kerala. Big relationship. Swami Dharman, the floor is for it.
Is the sound okay? Because my computer, sometimes the sound goes up and sound goes down. Is it okay?
What's happening will take it.
Great. Thank you, Dileepji, thank you. And I was very blessed and lucky to be in very close association with Swami Chidanandaji. And the whole day today, when in the morning Dennis and others were speaking, and now Padmini is speaking, I remember many similar points I noted down in my personal notes. So while you were talking, I've been collecting several very interesting points that I would like to share with you, that Master Chidananda shared with me when similar questions were asked. So I would just like to read out some portions of his teachings which are so very appropriate for this moment. And just to come back to Dennis and many others, what we shared in the morning, there's something where Swami Chidananda speaks about how we all are one. So we just like to quote him. All life is one, and there is one common consciousness that links the life of all beings into one great cosmic unity. A poet once wrote, "You cannot pluck a little flower without shaking a star." There is a poem in which the poet also says, "One touch of nature makes all life kin." The poet here refers to the original nature in which all forms of life are related to one, which Vedanta proclaims the oneness of all existence. That there is one divine principle present in all things. The first sloka of the first Upanishad says, "Whatever exists is pervaded by the one great cosmic being. That being permeates, saturates and pervades all things in the universe." So this is something that I felt when Dennis was speaking and many others speaking about how this needs to come to the forefront of our all movement, all the people who are working in the field of the yoga. And also now when Padmaniji was talking about the importance of mental well-being. So there's something very nice I found, I remembered suddenly, so I would like to read out that also. So Swami Chidanand says, "The science and art of living life is all about adapting oneself to a phenomenal flux of changing situations, unexpected events and occurrences, challenges and obstacles, conflicting views, and above all, in our continuous efforts to adjust ourselves to other persons. It is this human factor that is really challenging. It is the most vexing of all the other aspects of life that go to make our outer living in this earth plane." The whole article goes longer, but he goes on to speak about mental well-being, and the main point he wants to make is how we need to be very careful about mental status. And then he narrates the story. There's an interesting story. It was once announced that the devil was going out of business and would offer all his tools for sale to whosoever would pay his price. The devil always does business at night in the darkness of the inner psyche. On the night of the sale, they were all attractively displayed, and a bad looking lot they were. Malice, hatred, envy, jealousy, sensuality and deceit, and all the other implements of evil were spread out, and each were marked with a price. And something exceptional apart from all the rest, there lay a harmless looking wedge shaped tool, but much worn and priced much higher than any of the others. So someone asked the devil what it was. "Discouragement," was the reply. "Why is it priced so high?" "Because," replied the devil, "it is more useful to me than the rest. I can pry open and get inside anyone's consciousness with discouragement, which I cannot with any of the other instruments. Once inside, I can use the individual in whatever way suits me the best. It is so much worn because I use it with everybody, as very few people know it belongs to me. So they allow themselves to entertain it. They allow themselves to give a place in them. If they knew it doesn't belong to God's side, it is devil's. They will think not twice but 10 times before allowing to be entertained inside." It hardly needs to be added that the devil's price for discouragement was so high that it was never sold. He still owns it and is still using it. It is one thing that prevented him from going totally out of business. So the story seems to be so simple, but it's so true. And mind is the only thing we have. And if we don't keep it fit, full of courage, full of self-confidence, full of positivity, we are all aware of what the result is going to be. So right now, at this moment, I think what we need the most is what Swamiji says: positivity, optimism, enthusiasm, interest are all the ingredients in the mind that becomes best asset to our subjective and objective life. So we all need to break the shackles of discouragement and not lose hope with all that is going wrong all around us, but keep that positivity alive in us so that we keep on working hard on it and spread positivity all around. Unfortunately, the word positive has become wrong right now, so we have to say optimism more. So I felt really one with these articles of Swamiji to share with you all, because we need it the most at this time. And the good people, the hardworking people are so little in numbers, and discouragement is something which comes to all the hardworking people so easily. So we have to somehow not let that happen and be so outright positive that come what may, however big the obstacle is, we need to keep on. And like Dennis said, we should not fight for peace. Peace has to, our inner peace should become so powerful, so vibrant, that all the negativity just become ignoble, in front of our positivity. So let us all, on this yoga day, take a pledge to be outright optimistic, come what may. So thank you very much, and I'm really honored to be with all of you, and it's such a pleasure, and that I don't have any sleep right now.
Swamiji, I just wanted to show you, I had the opportunity and good fortune of writing this book about Ganesha, Glorious Global Ganesh, and Denise has a copy, Guruji has a copy. I think I will email you a copy.
Sure.
If you're interested, because it's all about, and I'm so, because my daughter Aishu, who is here, and also another young friend, Madlena, they did the whole layout, and I just wanted to share this photograph of Ganesh, which is a original painting, which was given, the permission was given to me to use this. So I thank you, Denise. Yes, it is such a cool book. It just talks, it's not the religion, but it is how Ganesh is universality. So I think if people talk about yoga and Ganesh, I don't think there's anybody in the world who does not know who Ganesh is. So thank you. Thank you, Dileepji. I just wanted to show this. And the next time when we have it, Denise and I have been talking, we want to have a program where we want to discuss, what Ganesh represents, the universality. Thank you so much. And thank you for your words of wisdom. Thank you so much. And thank you for staying awake. More important. Thank you.
24 hours today. International Day. And Anand Bhai already started reading your book. I just only look at the layout and what is the content. I didn't start reading. I can do only after July 2nd. No, maybe after July 4th. Definitely I will read it. I like the content. Now, the first we dedicated to Swami Bua, that is blowing the shell, his own shell. And we had the Amma Bhajan, that is Om Namah Shivaya. Then we had Sai Baba Bhajan, Ganesha Sharanam. Now, next song is dedicated to Swami Sachidananda. Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda.
Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda. next speaker, our youth representative, newly elected, selected youth representative to ECOSOC for Well Yoga Community. We are announcing today that Aishu, our good leader from the youth community, from the UN, long time. Aishu, floor is for.
Thank you very much, Guru Dileepji. Namaste, namaste, distinguished guests, Acharya ji and Swami ji, and to all ladies and gentlemen, happy International Day of Yoga to all. My name is Aishwarya Narasimha Devra, and as Guru Dileepji said, I am a youth representative for the World Yoga Community, and I've also been involved with various youth initiatives with the United Nations Department of Global Communications. All of you have given such eloquent remarks on yoga, and I most certainly agree with a lot of the wise words of wisdom you've all shared. One thing we can also address is how yoga has impacted specifically one group of people in society, that is youth. So now, yoga, as we know, serves as that force for achieving inner peace amongst ourselves and building that positive attitude. And this has been very much also the case for youth. Now, we know youth are involved in many activities, including school, all the different extracurricular programs that they're involved with, sports, etc. Now, we know the pressure of these activities can sometimes lead to anxiety and stress. Hence, that is where practicing yoga can help reduce the tensions. And I must say as well, hearing some case studies of how yoga is being used in schools definitely has also, I think that shows that there's great initiative for this. In fact, Guru Dileepji, you were on a TV interview just last week, I believe, and this was, there were two other fellow panelists along with you sharing their experiences, how yoga has made the children in the schools nicer, more pleasant towards their fellow classmates, and created a positive environment. So I think that's great that such initiatives where yoga is being introduced through these different platforms, schools, youth clubs, etc., where you can have this profound impact on this one group in society. Now, another example that I actually came across is there is one organization based in Los Angeles, California, United States of America, known as Yoga for Youth. Now, yoga here stands for an acronym, which means your own greatness affirmed for youth. So that actually is highlighting again how through yoga, youth are able to realize their self, they're able to realize the potential that lies within themselves, and also serving as a force for good in society. Now, this very specific NGO that I was referring to teaches yoga to youth in schools, juvenile detention centers, and in other settings where youth activities are being held in the United States, Europe, and Asia. And the NGO provides a behavior and moral support to ensure that every individual succeeds. So now we can see how yoga here serves as a catalytic force for empowerment. And especially, it can be difficult, some of the pressures that youth face in society, including bullying, that desire to fit in. So this is where you can see yoga kind of helps youngsters to realize the power within themselves and how, how they themselves add to the diversity of the world just by being themselves, by showing how their originality to the world. That's where you can see how yoga has an important and positive impact in their lives. And as we have mentioned also earlier with the COVID-19 pandemic, the isolation that youth have experienced, specifically speaking with this group, has had that effect on their mental and physical well-being. So there've been a lot of resources that are that have been shared on the internet and on TV, how parents can connect with their kids using the different yoga techniques, and also how, speaking of course to the older audience within the youth category, how they themselves by doing this yoga has helped to reduce some of the anxiety and tension that has unfortunately been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. So I must say, I am, I've seen, I've had the opportunity to practice yoga a few times. I hope to definitely do it more in the future. And I must say that I have also seen the effect that it has on people. Some of my friends, they are yoga teachers, and it's great to see that people are using this as one platform to empower youth. I most certainly would like to continue doing yoga. I want to increase my flexibility, and definitely, it's always good to try new things. So just to, all of you, of course, have shared all the benefits of yoga. I just wanted to add a little bit about the youth aspect of it. So, of course, yoga serves as a beacon of hope for youth to lead fulfilling and meaning lives and to realize their full potential. Thank you very much to everyone. Om Shanti Om.
Great, great. So we have a very strong youth leader now. See, so we are rich now. and yoga to our annual conference with the DGC. Are you going to say something?
Yes, yes. Aishuji, I just cannot stop saying something. I had been, though I have white beard now, but I always relate with youth. I had been a rebel since my childhood, and I got into so much of trouble in asking difficult questions. Why do we ring the bell so hard in the temple? It creates so much of trouble. Why do we burn so much of incense? These two questions, you don't know how many slaps I've got and how many times I got beaten by my elders. Don't ask such questions. They are not nice to ask. You must believe. You must have that faith. So all my life I relate with the youth. Although I'm a dinosaur now, but still I relate to the youth. So what you have said is very correct. We need to, all of us, we need to work on different methods and innovative ways of bringing youth closer towards yoga. And more than the physical aspect, more than the asanas, but more on the mental health. So at one point of time when I was going through very, very difficult times, I came across this practice which is called Yoga Nidra. It was designed by another disciple of Swami Shivananda named Swami Satyananda, who founded Bihar School of Yoga. It's a wonderful practice. And after I was encouraged to do this practice by a senior Swamiji who kind of said, hey, you have to come every day for 1 hour to my room and I'm going to make you do something. And he didn't tell me what it was. I was lying in Savasana and he was giving instructions. And I experienced myself firsthand the effect of this practice. And it was so powerful that right now, since all these years, wherever I go, that is the only thing I do. Even when I came to Parliament of World Religions in 2015, when I met Denise, when Kusumita ji brought me over there, she was like a godmother. So that was the only thing I had proposed, to do a relaxation and meditation session to achieve inner peace. So I would like to propose to Dileepji also and see how it works out. We can do a longer Yoga Nidra session for anybody. It's not only for youth, but for anybody, for everybody. That's a very, very powerful practice. Working in today's world and walking in the present times suddenly gives you such great amount of relaxation. But then it's not only the relaxation, but it also takes you deeper. It also prepares you for higher level of practices in mental health. So that will be my service, my seva. whenever you think you want to, organize something for friends of yours or for youth and for everybody. In fact, maybe if there is time permits, we can do it one day within this month before 30th. I'll be very happy. It doesn't matter what time, middle of the night, early morning, later on. I'll be very happy. That will be my contribution as a seva to everybody. Thank you so much.
Early morning we had a session with the Doon School. 200 young children were there.
Oh, nice.
I had to speak in their level. I can go. So we'll go to the next bhajan. Gabriel Premdas is going to sing. That's an English bhajan from Amma. Gabriel.
In the still of the night, from the darkness comes the light, and I know in my heart it is you, and I know in my heart it is you.
In the still of the night, from the darkness comes the light, and I know in my heart it is you, and I know in my heart it is you.
When the fire in my soul burns with longing for the goal, and I know in my heart it is you, and I know in my heart it is you.
The fire in my soul burns with longing for the goal. Then I know in my heart it is you. Then I know in my heart it is you.
When the truth is revealed, all the sorrow will be healed. And I know in my heart it is you. And I know in my heart it is you.
When the truth is revealed, all the sorrow will be healed. And I know in my heart it is you. And I know in my heart it is you.
In the still of the night, from the darkness comes the light. And I know
satsang is coming. Our brother Oneness want to say something? Yeah. Floor is for you.
Yeah, namaste everyone, all the distinguished speakers, Sister Denise, Sister Padmini, Sister Aish, Brother Yatidharmananda, all the members who are present. So yoga has already made the point of oneness. I just want to emphasize.
Can you have the sound little louder, please?
Come closer.
So the message of oneness of all, yoga is union. Today is International Day. We are going beyond the boundaries of physical limitations. So we have to recognize what's the purpose of life, which is God has gifted this life so that we can experience God's love and share with all of creation. Yoga is one way to get to that stage when we go from do's and don'ts, yama, niyama, asana, posture, and the meditation, various steps, getting up to samadhi, that is to connect that individual consciousness to the universal consciousness. That the speakers have already eloquently said that the divinity is within us. We have to raise our level from animal tendency to human tendency to divine tendency. That is feeling that love, compassion, the feeling that so that we reach out and serve the people. So peace begins with our smile. So hello to everyone, and then share the joy with yourself. First of all, heal yourself, and then connect to the family, friends within your circle, and then go beyond that to the society. So again, International Day of Yoga. Happy International Day of Yoga for everyone. May God bless you. All I would end with saying that we pray to that universal creator worshipped by many, many different names, that thanking that creator for giving this opportunity to come together, and especially thank for the Guruji to organize these meetings, to reflect on true purpose of life, the union of ourselves with the higher divinity. And so when we go back and face the creator, then the creator is happy that you have fulfilled your worldly obligations. God bless everyone. Namaste.
Next bhajan is dedicated to all the yoga masters. Shiva Shambho. Shiva Shambho Shambho. Shiva Shambho Mahadeva.
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 Hara 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 Mahadeva. Shiva Shambho Mahadeva.
Hara 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 Mahadeva. Shiva Shambho
feel like a real yoga. What is the next one? English? Let there be peace on earth. That's good. Because we are interfaith ministers, we cannot miss, and peace promoters, we cannot miss that song. Let there be peace on earth, all together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our parent, we are family. Let me walk with my neighbor in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. You're funny. We'll make a high pitch one. Without Krishna and Rama, we cannot finish yoga. Because time is running. That is the song. Okay? This song, bhajan, was popular in India when Swami Dharmananda was there to celebrate our 25th annual Well Yoga Festival in Goa. That was a surprising event, happened within 2 months. We prepared that event. Thousands of people gathered. And the main thing about that event, the event started with the priest, female priest. They did the inaugural prayer service. That was the best part we did to implement female gender equality, I would say, gender equality. We all had 4 days, day and night program. It was a beautiful celebration. I hope after this corona, in my state, they want to celebrate in Kerala. All of us can go there. Now we have so many ashrams, move around, and have some interfaith celebrations, yoga celebration, have nice Kerala vegetarian food or whatever you like, fine. So this song was the popular one, right? That Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Without Krishna, we cannot fulfill our bhajans. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 feel good?
Hari Om. We have to sing some Swami Shivananda English songs. So Swami Shivanji used to compose very interesting English songs, but they're all Vedantic. So I would like to share one, especially which was he's very tough. So the song goes like this. Is there not a nobler mission than eating, drinking and sleeping? It is difficult to get a human birth, therefore try your best to realize it in this birth. When your throat is choked at the time of death, who will help you for your salvation? Time sweeps away kings and barons. Where is Napoleon? Where is Nehru? Time sweeps away presidents and prime ministers. Where is Gandhiji? Where is Kennedy? How can you expect real Shanti if you waste your time in cards and novels, in cards and cinemas, in scandal backbiting, in idle gossiping? Be up and doing in yogic sadhana, you will attain immortality. Be up and doing japa and meditation, you will attain supreme peace. Be up and doing asana and pranayama, you will attain supreme health. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
That was good.
And then we cannot let go of this one. This is the best. Just a second, let me pull it up because I don't remember the whole lyrics. Just a second.
If you are in New York, you will be dancing now.
Serenity, regularity, absence of vanity, sincerity, simplicity, veracity, equanimity, fixity, non-irritability, adaptability, humility, tenacity, integrity, nobility, magnanimity, charity, generosity, purity. Practice daily these 1880s. You will soon attain immortality. Brahman is the only real entity. Mr. So and so is a false non-entity. You will abide in eternity and infinity. You will behold unity and diversity. You cannot attain this in the university. You cannot attain this in the university. Thank you. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
That is beautiful.
I mean, that reminds me, if you live up to 100 years, only 36,500 days. So count your age and factor in how much you might live. So God realization is the goal.
I'm glad.
Yoga is the way.
In the morning we had a section, but it's not like a more enjoying time. It's totally different. So I feel good, you feel good, right? So I want
To reach that Sat Chit Ananda.
Is it important to have a devotional session in any of the program? A lot of time we are uptight. We are going to make a change in the world, and our face is so tight. You know? We have to celebrate our existence. That's the way I always tell people. So I think we had to conclude, otherwise they may get upset. We have limited time. It was my great time with you all, especially 7th year of International Day of Yoga. And we all came together to celebrate, even though we had Corona around us. So many of our friends passed away. Even last week, I got a phone call from one of my friends' wife and father-in-law. He was in New York 4 months, and he wanted to put a program with the UN. He has the ECOSOC status in Europe, and we made all the plan. And even we want to put an advertisement in the Times Square. Everything well settled. And suddenly he wanted to go back to India. He went there, made a nice art place to inaugurate. He asked me to come for the next flight, and I didn't go there. I said, Corona is growing in India, so we'll postpone that. And last week, I got a phone call, his wife and father-in-law, that he left his body. He's only 36. Yeah. So we never know who is next, either Corona or something else. So be fruitful with our life. Whatever we do, things should be properly maintained and executed. Some you boys to say, when you send an arrow from a bow, that arrow is not going to come back. Same way when we say things to people, it won't come back. So watch out what we say, what we think, what we do. So I try my maximum best, but sometimes even I make mistake. That's the way it is. Yeah. But we learn from our mistakes. I'm glad we had a beautiful time together. I want to thank all the speakers, especially Reverend Dennis, Dr. Padmini Murthy, our Aishu, and Swami Adidharmananda, Acharya from Andamarga, Peace Light, our friend Pete Regina, and Anboy, Rajboy, Gabriel ji, and all the viewers. I had to thank. Because of you, we made this program. The collaborative way we do things. And special thanks to Ben Bowler. He is the person asked me to put this program with this World Unity Week. And most of our NGO leaders are in this program. They have so many events going on. And they will join with us coming days after 26. Every day, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. we have program going on until 30th. 30th, we have 3-hour program. Those who are in our past events from June 1st, all will have chance to say few words. And we'll have some musicians, dancers. So why I made this one, even I don't know. I want to make a short program with an interview, but it end up 3-4 universities collaborating, and we are giving 100 hours certificate to students, those who are studying BSc Yoga, so they can use for their credit, and ashrams, and so many professors, eminent professors, religious leaders, unlimited. We had Yoga and Islam, that's coming on Wednesday, and Friday, Yoga and Buddhism. Yoga and Christianity already happened, and like a mix of stuff. And definitely we have yoga for political leaders. That's the one I want to make it, because if leaders can be the best for the world will be different. How much we can do for NGOs, there's a limit. We have to educate, make sure they do good for us, because they are the servants, we are electing them. So we had to tell them again and again and again. We know how diplomats are. But we never give up. So I thought having a program only for them, bring all people together. And one event we had with Anandamarga, that was a beautiful event too. And 28, only art and music. One of my professor from sports. He made an organization only for students who got gold medal or the university level prizes in sports, arts, music, like different items. I'm one of the one in that group. So I want to promote our colleagues to have some dance, music. They'll get the chance to, So a lot of time we just only look for the top class speakers, but we ignore other people. So we want to make sure people should get at least 1 minute to say something in our event. So that's why always we have a plan for opening Q&A section or an open mic. So overall, we did very well. I think after today, I may get little rest for next coming week. Like 6-7 events yesterday night. And I don't want to say no, because this is a passion for me to educate children, especially children. I born in a yoga family. I got advantage. Even my height is 3 inches taller than my siblings, because I was practicing yoga very rigorous way, like 6 hours a day. That's what I was doing. And training all the yoga teachers around the globe, meeting all the people. Now we feel like an entire global family. We can go anywhere around the world. I have friends. So I want to bring my friends with me to go around, make a wonderful network. It's necessary for our UN activities. I'm glad at last we are in the process of the ECOSOC status. I know they are going to announce on 22nd of July, the final announcement. Then we'll have a celebration. I'm glad now we have more committee members and advisors are more. I'm going to invite more people, because we made this organization for the people, not for me or anyone else. We want to make sure we have good leaders coming to take over in the future. With everybody's love and support, I appreciate and I acknowledge the support you gave us for so many years. We are going to conclude with the mantras. Om, 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 Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarugumya Bandhana Mrityor Mukshayama Mridhat. Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarugumya Bandhana Mrityor Mukshayama Mridhat. Om Trayambagam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarugumya Bandhana Mrityor Mukshayama Mridhat. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavadu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavadu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavadu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavadu, Sarve Bhavantu Subhinaha, Sarve Sandhu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pachandu Magachet Dukhabhar Bhave, Astoma Satkamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amradam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Yoga Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Yoga Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Yoga Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace peace peace. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m.